Hi guys, back again with another video exposing more of Shaun Attwood's lies and deceptions. It's been a wee while and I think I've had the YouTube version of writer's block lately. I've also been quite busy with work and stuff. But anyway, there's some things going on that I'd like to talk about in regards to Shaun Attwood. The first thing I'd like to mention is that Mr Attwood is throwing his illegal copyright strikes around once more. I had an illegal copyright strike on my backup channel a few days ago. You would have thought that he would have learned something from his experience of trying to take down Weezy's What Is Truth podcast. Between Shaun and that guy who had his phone snatched off him, Weezy managed to overturn 5 illegal copyright strikes between his own channel and the daddygate podcast channel, which I'm in chance of co-host. So if Mr Attwood hasn't learned by now that these underhand tactics aren't going to work, then he's not going to learn at all. So the counter notification is on its way, and Mr Attwood has between 10 and 14 days to notify YouTube with evidence of his intention to initiate court proceedings to keep the video from being reinstated. The video in question is originally from Weezy's channel, and it's he who owns the copyright to that video, not Shaun Attwood. Mr Attwood is well aware of this, as one of the 5 illegal copyright strikes that were recently overturned was about this video. I'd like to think that the Attwood apologists that are still out there would ask themselves why Shaun would continue to hand out copyright strikes on content that he doesn't own the copyright to. The answer is obvious: he's trying to hide the truth. Sadly, copyright strikes have become the weapon of choice on YouTube these days, and this continued abuse of the copyright system by Shaun Attwood only goes to show how easy Shaun finds it to break the rules. He thinks he's a law unto himself and that the rules don't apply to him. I heard a comment that Chancellor had read out in his primer earlier. Comment said something about Attwood ending the war on drugs, and does Attwood think he's George Bush? It reminded me of something that I read in a journal he wrote. Have a look at this. It's an extract of his journal dated the 27th of May 2004. The problem I've got with this, apart from the obvious, is that Shaun's parents, the very people who typed Shaun's writings up and then posted them onto the internet, possibly with a view to setting him up somewhere in the media later on, were 100% complicit in sharing this fake information. Did they really believe that their son had received a personalised signed photograph from the then President of the United States? Either they knew it was all bullshit and just posted it online anyway, or maybe they knew that Shaun suffered from delusions of grandeur and thought they would just encourage him regardless. Either way, it's quite worrying. I know Shaun touched on something before about his medication being doubled. My guess is it was when the staff at the jail heard about this, because the name John didn't really hide Shaun's identity much. Not when his parents published his real name in an appeal for Christmas cards to be sent to him. This was late 2004, around 6 months after he started the blog. So the reason he gave for using a pseudonym is probably bullshit as well. This is a clip from a talk he did in London.
And it went on to attract all this media attention to the conditions in the jail. I thought I could get these conditions changed and things would be improved, and I feel like I did. The maximum security jail was closed down 2 years after I started the blog, but he runs 6 different jails, the sheriff, so a lot of this stuff is still going on. Anyway, I'm out of time now. If you want the full story, my book is supposed to be downstairs in foils. And thank you very much all for coming here and listening. Thank you. Cheers.
From the end of that clip, Shaun would also have his unsuspecting subscribers believe that it was him who got the maximum security jail shut down 2 years after he started his blog, when in actual fact, the jail was shut down just 1 year after he started his blog, and it was shut down because it badly needed repairs, not because Shaun had highlighted the jail's problems. As I covered in my video titled Going Back to the Backstory, Shaun was never in maximum security. The jail he's talking about here is one of Sheriff Joe Arpaio's jails, but he was only there before he got sentenced. I got this comment on that backstory video the other day. I replied and I asked Shaun why didn't he address the first part of that video, which showed him lying in his school talks about how he got stitched up by the prosecutor. he didn't respond. Right, I'm going to leave it there for now, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope you tune in for the next one. Cheers.
She accidentally put my 9.5-year sentence down as 34 years on the paperwork of the prison system. So I was fast-tracked to super maximum security, which does have it was accidentally put down on the paperwork of the prison system as 26 years. So I was fast-tracked to the super maximum security prison as the highest risk category prisoner with the most violent, dangerous prisoners, including death row.